A mostly cloudy and snowy good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester. Well, we've got a few snowflakes out there. Fortunately, everything is quite warm as far as the surfaces go, so nothing is really adhering to those. We don't have any travel issues other than it's just plain old wet. But as we move a little bit further to the west and in the specifically the southwest corner of the Lower Peninsula, there is a advisory out right now. We're looking at lower Michigan and northwestern Indiana near Lake Michigan. They've got winds up to 45 miles per hour down there, and snow is accumulating, especially from LaPorte over to Benton Harbor. So mild pavement temperatures are helping to prevent travel issues, but still visibility is a problem down there, and the winds will be diminishing, they say, as we go into the later afternoon hours. For us, fortunately, we don't have the winds to contend with. We do have some light snow, and temperatures have been falling pretty much all morning long. Our high temperature for the day today was right after midnight last night. Matthew, what are you looking at as far as the thermometer right now?
Right now, over at the airport, there's light snow at 34. Over in Midland, there's light snow at 36. Here at Radio Center, we have some light snow at 34. We have north winds at 10 miles per hour, and our pressure's at 29.57, and it's rising.
We do have a low pressure system that moved through the Chicago area, delivering some measurable amount of snow in Chicago as we've gone through the early morning hours, and of course snow in the Upper Peninsula, accumulating snow, in some cases almost a foot of snow in some areas in the Upper Peninsula. That low pressure system has moved through Chicago, kind of cut across from southwest to northeast across the Lower Peninsula, exiting Michigan over Tawas, and right now it's situated over northern Lake Huron. And eventually later on this afternoon, it'll be all the way over into eastern Ontario province, approaching Quebec province up in Canada. Now, the system broke down somewhat as we move through the nighttime hours. That was one of the reasons why you didn't see a lot of rain in your particular backyard, your back porch. We did see some scattered shower activity, though, as we move through the early morning hours. And then, of course, this morning, and we're still looking at some scattered shower activity in southern Michigan. Light rain is being reported right now all across the southern tier, and we're looking at some light snow. Also picking up some light snow right now in Alma this hour, as well as Flint. They're looking at some light snow. Hillsdale looking at some flurries. Jackson flurries, light snow in Lansing. Lapeer, Mason, Mount Clemens. Midland is looking at some light snow right now. Battle Creek, Benton Harbor. Again, as we said, they are looking at some snow now with some strong north gusty winds up to about 30 miles per hour. Grand Rapids is reporting light snow in 33, and they've got a northwest wind gusting to right around 30 miles per hour there. So it is going to be a little bit of an interesting commute until about 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon over on the west side of the state. We're going to get some clearing here as we go in through the afternoon, and we should wind up with mostly clear skies later on this afternoon, and definitely overnight it will be clear. We're looking at a northwest wind that will be picking up as we go through the afternoon. We'll see some gusts of better than 30 miles per hour this afternoon before things finally clear out. And then it'll be a northwest wind still looking at right around 25 to 30 mile per hour gusts until close to midnight. Then the wind direction is going to change. After a low of about 25, we're going to be, and clear skies, we're going to be seeing a southwest wind anywhere from 5 to 10 miles per hour. And again, the best chance of that is going to be after midnight. But during the day tomorrow, warming trend, and along with that is going to come a southwest wind gusting to 35 miles per hour tomorrow. Sun with a few clouds. That's what's in the forecast for tomorrow. 54 for a high, 30 for a low tomorrow night. A few clouds around, low pressure system over northwestern Wisconsin. We'll be moving into northern Lake Huron overnight on Friday night and early Saturday morning. So what that's going to do is bring clouds, some rain, and then some snow after midnight on Friday night with that low of right around 30. Saturday, 38 is going to be our high. A cloudy start to the day, damp start to the day. A front is going to be sliding through early in the morning on Saturday morning. So as we go through the day, whatever precipitation we do get is going to be, I would say, earlier in the morning type stuff, although there still is going to be a chance of a secondary front moving through later in the day on Saturday, and that could cause some rain and some snow showers that will move through Saturday night, or I should say Sunday night. So Saturday night, we are going to be looking at mostly clear skies. So let me clarify that. Saturday, we're going to have a cloudy start, and then things should be clearing off as we go through the day on Saturday. Saturday night will be clear with 24 for a low. Then Sunday, we'll start off with partly cloudy skies, rain and snow shower mixed as we go through the day on Sunday, especially late Sunday afternoon. Sunday's high will be 46. Sunday's low will be 32. So we'll have that rain, snow mix on Saturday night, or Sunday night, I should say, moving into Monday. I'm getting my weekend all configured around here the wrong direction. Saturday looks like the pick of the 2 days for the weekend, with temperatures in the upper 30s, mid 40s on Sunday. But again, the best chance of precipitation on the weekend will be late Sunday afternoon and Sunday night, because another low pressure system is going to be working its way through. I want to say it'll probably be over Minnesota during the day on Sunday, and it'll be crossing the lower peninsula and exiting Michigan by noon on Monday over Michigan's thumb. So that's why the chances of rain and snow will increase later Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, then exiting on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, uneventful right now. Low to mid 40s for a high, so we're pretty close to normal. No precipitation for Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think, again, the best chance of seeing precipitation on Monday is going to be in the morning. What's normal? What's average for this time of the year? Temperatures, 44 in the afternoon and 27 at night. Again, a very active weather pattern with one low pressure system right after another moving through the state. Record high in this state is 83. That was set back in 2012. Incidentally, the warmest ever 20th of March was 2012. 83 was our high, 61 was our low. The coldest ever and the record low on this date was 3. That was set in 1965, and that was the coldest ever, March the 20th. Our high on that date in 65 was 21, and our low was 3. Incidentally, go back to 1989, we had 10 inches of snow on this date back in 1989. Long range outlook now, we're looking at the first 2 days of the month of April, starting with the upcoming weekend. Below average temperature-wise all the way through this period, above average as far as the moisture is concerned. So we're still going to see some messy weather as we go through the next 10 days or so to take us right up through the end of March into the first couple of days of April. A year ago, we didn't break any records a year ago. 36 was our high and 23 was our low. And we picked up a half inch of snow a year ago today. My guess is by the time it's all said and done on grassy surfaces, we'll probably see about a half inch of snow in the Great Lakes Bay area. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Matthew, just one storm system right after another. You lose track of days after a while because there's a chance of rain either in the morning and snow, or a chance of rain or snow in the evening. Yeah, it's just it's like a smorgasbord here. We're getting just a little bit of everything. Coming up, who do we have?
Up next, we have Melinda Sweeney from the Andersons, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
Well, before we get to them, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. It's all about being prepared, Mr. Farmer, as you get ready to move into spring. Protect yourself against the bad things. Take advantage of the good by working with the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Remember, they are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of their agents directly on their cell for questions or emergencies, or you can give the office a call at 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Say good morning to Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. And Melinda, I was hoping you'd be the bearer of good news. Well, at least corn, for the most part, hasn't been doing too bad, has it?
Yeah, we have corn up 4, beans down 1, and wheat down 8. Corn futures still trading higher to start the day, with May contract finding support around that 200-day moving average, which is great. We still have strong export demand, which has kept the corn market supported. Ethanol stocks fell by 2.5% compared to the analyst expectation. They thought it would not fall quite as much. Plant production came in at 1.1 million barrels per day compared to the average of 1.059 million barrels a day. In the soybean front, soybeans are trading lower to start the day and have been drifting to lower prices since the beginning of February due to poor export demand and tariff threats. I mean, that's nothing new. We've been talking about it all along. We had another tariff threat coming the first week of April, which could also be a big market mover here too. We have the USDA potential reduction in soybean planting intentions. That could be helpful to the market. That comes out March 31st when we get our planting intentions report and U.S. quarterly grain stocks. And in the wheat class today, all 3 classes of wheat trading lower this morning. This came after needed rain fell in the hard red wheat regions out west. So a lot of things still moving around in the wheat market. As we look forward to export reports that come out today, all eyes are on correcting wheat sales from last week to making sure there were some sales that stated, and we're hoping to see all those corrections this week.
So we've got some corrections going on. And again, you alluded to that big report coming up the end of the month. And I happened to catch a comment you had mentioned about possibly, which commodity was it that might not plant as many acres as what we're thinking?
There's speculation that the USDA could reduce soybean planting intentions. Speculation on that. You have to take into consideration spring wheat acres out west and cotton in the south. Cotton's pretty low right now, so more of those guys are going to loot to beans in the south instead of cotton. It would be really interesting to see what gets planted in the Dakotas and Nebraska for a bean standpoint, and we won't know any of that until we can get these planters in the field and get moving. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like Mother Nature is going to allow us to do that for a couple more weeks yet.
Yeah, it sure looks that way. And again, those folks continue to be quite dry. there was some hope from a number of these systems moving through that we were going to get some much needed moisture in some of the areas that have been exceptionally dry. But these systems have been moving through, and I mean, there's a lot of severe weather, but as far as it actually replenishing the soil, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys will say plant in the dust, your bins will bust. Um, we've had a couple wet springs getting planted, so an easy, nice spring would be great. And then, we get the right amount of rain end of April and May to get these plants up out of the ground. So we'll see what happens. Right now it's snowing outside, so hard to believe when it was 60 just the other day.
Yeah. And it's going to be like 50 something tomorrow, so.
Yeah, the weather is definitely going to be tricky. But, hopefully we don't get any heavy rains that, crush seeds and allow them to come up out of the ground nicely. So just pray we all have nice weather this spring.
Yep. Yeah, we're just going to have to keep our fingers crossed. So right now on the board, what do you have?
Yeah, right now we have nearby corn at $4.40, June corn at $4.55, new crop 25 corn at $3.90, nearby soybeans $9.60, new crop 25 soybeans $9.40, new crop July red wheat at $5.08, and new crop July white wheat at $5.48.
You have a great day, Melinda. Thank you.
Thanks, you too.
You bet. Melinda Sweeney over at the Andersons. A little bit more in depth. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us right now. The Market Report brought to you by Legendary Tree Care. If you need some tree removal or trimming, Legendary Tree Care, those are the folks you should be talking to, because no job is too big and no job is too small. They are fully licensed and insured. They do specialize in the big projects, but if you need them to do some trimming around, better get a hold of them right now. Check them out, legendarytreecare.com, or like them on Facebook. Market Report also brought to you by Steiner Tractor. New parts for old tractors. They've got them. They do take their job personally at Steiner Tractor because they understand how your life and job both stop if that tractor stops running. 800-234-3280, or go to their website at steinertractor.com. Doug Klein, good morning.
Well, good morning.
Here we go again.
Yeah, it's an interesting day once again. Gold hit a new high today.
Again?
3,065. I know, right? Well, Detroit Edison also hit a new high today. What else? Berkshire Hathaway, a new high. Darden Restaurants, new high. Those guys are doing okay. They said there's some profit taking in silver, especially the miners. So they were really getting expensive. So they're selling off, but not new lows by any stretch of the imagination. The stock market started out lower today. It was looking like it was going to be kind of ugly. And then the government reported home resales, so used home sales, came in much better than expected, even given the fact that mortgage rates were a little bit higher. They also said that the really expensive homes are the ones that are getting the most traction as far as price increases and things like that. So over 750,000. I guess that's not expensive anymore. It isn't. It is in my book, but I guess that's just normal anymore to spend that kind of money on a house.
Isn't that scary?
Yeah, right. I can't even imagine the payment.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So anyway, the stock market has turned around. We're up about 0.5% on the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ, just about across the board. And it seems to me it was just all straight up government reporting that made it happen. So thanks, guys. Oh, by the way, Trump said that the Fed should lower interest rates to offset his tariffs that he's proposing or threatening. So whatever, I guess. Got to deal with that too. So here's your numbers. The May corn, 466, up 4 cents. September corn, 446 and a quarter, up a penny. May soybeans 10.06.5, down 1 3/4. September soybeans $10.75 of a penny, down 4.5. The May wheat is 5.55, down 8.5. September wheat 5.89 and a quarter, down 7.5. Crude oil is 68.12, up $1.21. Heating oil is 2.21, up 2 1/4 cents. Gasoline is 2.18.91, up 1.5 cents. And natural gas is 4.10.5, That's down 20.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.4341 Canadian. That's up 17 ticks. The dollar buys 148.94 yen. That's up 26 ticks. The euro's at 108.40. That's down 60 ticks. And the dollar's at 103.93, up 51 ticks. Gold's at $3,047.20, up $6. Silver's $34.79.5, down 24 cents. Platinum's at $992.30, down 17.10 an ounce. And then copper's at $509.80, down 2/10 of a penny.
Thank you, Doug. Take care.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
All righty. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. When you're ready to hit the field, when Mother Nature lets you, Freeland Bean and Grain is ready to help as well. They've got all the inventory that you need to give yourself a good chance to get that crop growing this spring. Freeland Bean and Grain, serving you since 1983. We're serving you is their business. Coming up next, Matthew, who do we have?
Up next, we have Joe Kramer from the Michigan Bean Commission, and we also have Jerry Samolsky from the Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville.
Both of them coming up right after this.
Are you ready for even lower vehicle prices? I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet in Vassar, where we're building our spring inventory. With almost 200 Chevys already on the lot, we got some great new spring offers. Would you believe the Chevy Blazer has been lowered to $283 a month? That's $20 less than last month. The Equinox is now only $300 a month, and maybe the best of all, the Chevy Silverado Crew Cab four-wheel drive pickup has been dropped from an already low $225 down to an incredible $212 a month. Get out today to Cook Chevrolet M15 Top of the Hill in Vassar. Equinox is $300, Blazer's now only $283, and Silverado's now just $212.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. $2,000 cash down plus first payment and tax due at signing. Call or visit us on the web at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
At Ranch and Farm Auctions, we understand that selling your property is about passing on a legacy, your legacy. Working with Ranch and Farm Auctions to auction your property is a promise to maximize our experience and knowledge to bring top dollar for every acre. Our national platform and extensive buyer database from across the country are uniquely positioned to bring more qualified buyers, which leads to premium bids on auction day. Visit ranchandfarmauctions.com or call auction expert Michael Turner at 989-305-9683.
The Frankenmuth Credit Union is ready to help. They've got lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Find out how they can become your hometown financial solution. All you got to do is stop by any of their conveniently located offices or just click online and check them out. They've got all of their information there. You can find it. It's really something. FrankenmuthCU.org is where you should go. Say good morning to Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Joe, how's things looking in the dry bean business?
Well, not too bad, Terry. We're at the point in the calendar where we're starting to pay attention a little bit to Argentina and in fact, Brazil this year too. So got their crop in the ground for the most part. Some areas, because of too wet or too dry, in some cases too hot, they reduced acreage or didn't get it planted or lost that crop early. Trying to get a handle on what percentage that looks like. I don't know that it's significant, but it's on the radar anyway. So obviously they're a big competitor, especially in the black bean markets. Historically, Brazil is Argentina's only customer, but in recent years, Brazil's become an exporter, and that kind of displaces Argentina as well. And all of a sudden, we find ourselves button heads with them in Mexico and Central America. So paying attention to that a little bit, and I'm actually going to have some people on the ground there in late May, early June. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that ought to be really interesting because, they're a big player.
Yeah, huge, and they have big swings, and depending on the size of their crop, they can get pretty competitive. And so we know we still have an advantage from a quality perspective, and in some cases, we still have a freight advantage as well. But they can get pretty aggressive if they've got a lot of crop.
Joe, thanks a lot. And of course, we'll be looking at that government report coming up here in another week. That'll be really interesting too, huh?
Yeah, anxious to see that. I'm not quite sure. I haven't got a strong opinion. Everybody's telling me we're going to be down a little bit in acreage, but nobody's put a number on it really yet. So, yeah, anxious to see what Uncle Sam says.
Well, we'll talk to you after that report. Joe, you take care. Have a good one, okay?
Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Jerry Samolsky joining us right now. Jerry, what should we be looking at?
Well, we should be looking at the first day of spring, Terry, and we look outside and seeing that snow come down a little bit. Doesn't make much sense. But, plants don't pay attention to the calendar. They feel the photo period, how long the day is and how short it is, and the temperature is what really helps bring them along, all that above. I don't think we're going to be in bad shape with things coming out early and getting frozen. My magnolia up front has pushed some bud a little bit, but it's still quite tight. So I think we're going to be good. The weather's hanging on, and for first day of spring, this is kind of disheartening, but this too shall pass.
Yep, it's happened before. It'll happen again. Jerry, you take care. Have a good one, okay?
All right, Terry.
Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Weiss Equipment, they're the folks that you should be talking to right now as far as those farm all tractors go. And right now, if you're paying cash, you get a cash discount. And there is special financing available too. 0% interest up to 72 months on those farm all tractors. Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Teresa at Baird and Company joining us right now. What's going on in New York, Teresa?
Good morning. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 179 points at 42,141, 278 million shares traded. NASDAQ up 66 at 17,815, 415 million shares traded there. Some stocks of local interest include Caterpillar at 338.63, up a penny. Deere 477.72, down $1.71. CMS Energy 73.46, down a quarter. Dow 36.83, down 36. DuPont 77.23, down 34. Corteva 62.16, down 30. General Motors 49.60, down 19. Trinzio 393, down 20. Walmart 86.58, up 25. Huntington Bank 15.01, up 4. Independent Bank 31.45, up 8, and AT&T at 26.85, up a penny.
Thank you, Teresa. You take care. We'll be right back.
There are two types of to-dos. To-dos you want to do and to-dos you gotta do. Hopping on your Coyote tractor to plow a little patch of heaven on your land is a wanna do. But flossing before a dentist appointment so they don't suspect that flossing is a never do? That's a gotta do. For all the to-dos you want to do, check out the many models of hardworking Coyote, CS, CX, and CK tractors. Available with up to 72 months financing at 0.99%. For the gotta do's? Well, Godspeed. Coyote, we dig dirt. For all of your Coyote needs, stop into CMR Tractors in Millington today or visit them online at cmrtractors.com. CMR Tractors is your local Coyote dealer.
We now conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour.